Who is this guy?
He's very funny, but who is he?
Well, you know, he's 31 years old. He's from South Africa. You know, he's speaks 6 different languages. And, you know, I think
his father is Swiss, his mother's from Soweto.
So he grew up in a interracial home where, you know, his parents' marriage was illegal at the time of his birth in South Africa, in Soweto. So a lot of his humor is racially based, is ethnically based, and you know, and they call him a polyglot. He speaks a lot of different languages. And you look at late night, and so much importance is now based on the second screen and the ability to attract audiences not just in the U.S. but online around the world.
Is that what this move is all about in your view?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it.
You know, NBC said 70% of Jimmy Fallon's views is online. You know, and we were talking about before about James, you know, Corden and how everyone saw his Tom Hanks, you know, skit.
Great.
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of that was streaming.
He's taken over the show after David Letterman.
Yeah, he's taken after Craig Ferguson, and Colbert will replace Letterman in September.
I saw James Corden driving around with Mariah Carey.
I got to tell you, it was impressive to have Tom Hanks and to see that video about how he got there and all the stars, Meryl Streep, that were in that video. Paul, what do you make of kind of the type of host that we're seeing in late night?
Well, I mean, you know, even though for Jimmy Fallon that stat about 70% of the viewing coming online, the reality is the vast majority of the revenue comes on over the air, and so
it's big bucks.
It's big bucks, and Comedy Central's taking a big risk here by bringing essentially a no-name talent, certainly to U.S. audiences, to a chair that's just been a huge moneymaker for Comedy Central, for Viacom over the years. So it's a very gutsy move. They're really making a bet on a new, fresh talent, as opposed to maybe going a safer route and getting a more household name.
Or taking someone, I mean, look, Jon Stewart was a no-name when he started and turned this into an amazing thing.
How long did it take for him to kind of get following?
I think with Jon Stewart, he's been on 17 years. What really put Jon Stewart over the top was a study in 2005 from Pew Research that said young adults are getting their political news from Jon Stewart. They're not getting it from newscasts or cable or newspapers or radio. And once you saw that number, that statement, his numbers really started to grow. And so it took him a while.
I thought it was interesting, though, that they didn't pick a woman here. You would have thought there was more of a push for that, and they had such a huge talent pool, right? They have Samantha Bee. I love her. They have Jessica Williams. There's Olivia Munn. I mean, there's so many.
Even Tina Fey was mentioned, and you know, a lot of people. We've had a lot of turnover in the late night hosts over the last couple of years, and there's been opportunities for a woman to be given, you know, one of those big chairs, and they have not. So that is clearly an issue. I think some of the networks have been on the defensive about, but here was another opportunity to maybe fill that, and they chose not to.
Do they not think women are funny? Well, do women not resonate as funny?
No, Samantha Bee has actually gone to TBS. I mean, she's got her own show. You know,
they're all
Chelsea
going
Handler.
places, aren't they?
Chelsea Handler's now left E! Last August, and she's got a show on Netflix. Of course, late night doesn't mean much on Netflix. But, you know, so she's going over there. And, you know, Jessica Williams said on Twitter, you know, she's about 25 years old. She's very funny, but she said, I don't think I'm ready for this.
Is it also thinking that Trevor Noah is kind of a more global person, and so it plays to the global audience? Is that part of it?
I think there's some of the digital rights that they're probably talking about as they think about maybe taking this show, you know, a little bit to a more global audience through some of the digital platforms. That might resonate a little bit more. But again, most of the economics are from, you know, the traditional over-the-air broadcast, at least for the next several years, and that, you know, in and of itself represents a risk for Comedy Central. But we might turn back and look back in a year or two and say this was a bold move, you know.
How important is this as far as revenue is concerned? I mean, this is no Top Gear, right? They're not.
No, this is.
They're not pulling in $500 million a year with this.
No, they're billing more than that. Though, right?
No. I mean, you know, an average unit costs around $30,000 for a 30-second ad. I mean, you know, that's a pretty good number. You know, the thing also is that the audience for the Daily Show is younger, and it's male. You know, these are lighter viewers of television. You know, look at the broadcast shows; they're in their 50s. They're more female. So, you know, you're going out and reaching an audience that advertisers really want to reach because they're lighter viewers of TV. And you throw in the streaming, you know, the Monday morning, as Paul said, it's not being, you know, you can't really make money off of that just yet. But, you know, he's 31 years old. By the time he reaches Jon Stewart's age of 52, they'll find a way to make money off of the streaming. There's too many viewers, too many important viewers for them not to.
When you look at late night right now, who's doing the best?
Oh, well, Jimmy Fallon.
Without a doubt.
He's got about close to 4 million viewers each night. And then, Kimmel and Letterman are pretty much tied. I think the David Letterman finale sometime in May is going to do a huge number. That's not really getting a lot of press yet. But
no, it's not getting any press.
Yeah, it's not. Like. But, he's stepping down May 20th. Yeah. He's been on behind the desk for 33 years.
I know.
Longer than Johnny Carson. And I think that'll do about 20 million viewers when it's all said and done. That'll do a strong number.
Yeah, it's gotten very competitive in late night. Everybody on the broadcast networks, the cable networks, all have a late night franchise, and now some of the some of the over-the-top networks are thinking about it as well. So there are ad dollars there, and it's gotten very competitive. So we'll have to see how this replacement does.
I miss Johnny Carson.
I'm sorry for getting